Welcome back, guys. Day number 3 of week 1, Ludus phase, bronze. Friendly reminder, today, 4 exercises: upper body push, upper body pull, lower body knee dominant, lower body hip dominant. We're doing 3 sets of each exercise, 1 warm-up set and then 2 hard sets. This program is designed for people that are time poor and probably don't like working out. All you need, a set of dumbbells here and an adjustable bench, ideally somewhere comfortable on the floor, and then you're set. So for today, we're gonna start with push-ups. Now, I'll show you a regressed version and then we'll build up into our working sets. So, starting off, you have 2 options if push-ups are really hard for you. Option 1, the most regressed of all, would probably be something like on your knees off an elevated surface. Something like this is gonna be very accessible for most folks. What we wanna do, if you're in this category here and you're doing these modified ones, do 3 to 5 reps max. And I want you to slowly build towards maybe coming up to the legs and then going to full ground. Now, if you're already past that level right now, you could come here for your warm-up set. We could do an incline push-up to warm up. Nice and controlled on the way down, keeping the body nice and level. We're going for 3 to 30 reps. Huge range. I'm not gonna do 30 in this warm-up set. Just wanna get the muscles warmed up. But again, if you're trying to build that max strength to doing full push-ups off the ground, keep the reps under 5. You're working on your strength, not your endurance. So, for our first working set, so this would be set number 2. I'm gonna come down here to the ground. Push-ups. If you're advanced, you can have your elbows in more and your hands in more. If you go wider out with your elbows more flared, it's more on the shoulders. I'm gonna go kind of about shoulder width, elbows a little bit flared in. So I'm here. 1, 2. Oh, okay. That was near failure for me right now. So that's 20 reps. Again, remembering you have lots of options here on how you make that harder. If you're advanced, you could take something like a plate and you could put a plate on your back. You could wrap a band around your back. You could slow your tempo on the way down. So I was doing probably 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. You could do 1 second, 2 second, 1 second. Makes it much harder. It's just a game of what your goals are. So we're gonna rest a little bit. We'll go another 30 seconds and we're gonna do our finishing set of push-ups. Now, again, if you go back to video 1 or video 2 of this series, week 1, day 1, week 1, day 2, we talked about reps in reserve. You wanna push this near failure. There's no point in coming in and just half-assing it and going through the motions. That may sound harsh, but it's the truth, so get over it. All right, let's go. Nice and wide. 1. Oh, I'm not gonna do very well this set, guys. $11 reps. Humbling. Okay, so that's our push-ups. So we're gonna shake that out. I'm gonna give my upper body a rest. I'm gonna go into step-ups here. So if you have an actual solid step in your gym, that's perfect, way better than this. For today, we can use a bench. It'll do the job. So you have a couple options for the step-up. If some of you guys might wanna grab like a broomstick or something that you can support yourself on the ground. I don't have anything to support myself right now, but you would hold it, be on the ground here, and you would push up and drive. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab. So what you could do, imagine this stick's twice the height though. But you'd be here, and I could use this as a little bit of a balance to kind of help me a little bit. That's good. And a common thing that's gonna happen is my bottom leg, I'm gonna push off my toes to get up. Very natural compensation. I'm here, I'm pushing up, I'm coming up. That's level 1. Now, as you get more advanced, you can ditch that and you can go without any help. And you're controlling on the way down a little bit. That's level 2. And then level 3 for all the savages out there is basically a pistol squat. So just this leg is gonna push. This leg, I'm gonna lift my toes up. Can you see my toes on that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna lift my toes up towards the ceiling, so I can't push off this leg at all. And my top leg will have to do all that work. That's pretty advanced though. So don't be afraid to use your broom or whatever stick you have available and just get the motion of get up there, control a little bit on the way down. So that's good. That leg's burning. This is the warm-up set. I'll go on the other side. So I'm here. I can face this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. You can even go facing the bench too. This works too, it doesn't have to be sideways. So I'm here, coming up, control a little bit on the way down. Good, I'm here, push up, control, 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 control. Good. You'd even want this, if my left leg's pushing up, I'd want this in my right hand, the bounce, because then I have a wider base. A little bit of control, push up, and you'll notice again, I'm pushing off those toes of this foot. So for myself, if this is gonna be challenging, I gotta start lifting those bottom toes so I'm not cheating and pushing off that bottom leg too much. Okay, so that's your warm-up set there. So now's a good time. Have a drink of water, grab whatever you need, and get ready for a working set here. So, for myself, we're gonna go for 12 reps now, give or take. And I'm gonna try and control on the way down with some tempo. If you remember, eccentric, you're resisting gravity. So the way up is hard, controlling on the way down is even harder. So I'm gonna really try and look at gravity. If you've seen Captain Phillips, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm the captain now. That's what you tell gravity right now. You're the captain. So you're here. 1. Control. It's even hard if you have a bench because you have a little bit of the foam top. So it's less stable. Controlling on the way down. Trying to keep that knee straight. Ooh. Use a stick if you've never done this before, for sure. Drive. Nice controlled. 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. Push. 1, 2, 3. Push. 1, 2, 3. Whew. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna go other side. I'm gonna face sideways so you can see. Can even go a little bit more angled for you guys. Oh, this is my bad knee. 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3. Oh, getting tough. 1 more. Okay. Have a drink of water. So that was our second set. Pretty challenging. Now, depending what you did on that set, you can decide now. You did 8 reps there, you did 10 reps, you did 12. How many more could you do? Could you do 2 more with good form? Could you do 4? These are the questions you need to be asking yourself when you're training, because if you know you can do 4 more reps and you don't, sure, maybe it's comfortable in the moment not to do that, but later on you'll know that you left some in the tank and you didn't really apply yourself as much as you could. And I'm not telling you you have to do that, but it's definitely something that's worked for me in my, I don't know, 14 years of working out, that For the first 8-9 years, I had no fucking clue. If you've ever watched the Ozarks, I didn't know shit about fuck. And the only thing I had going in my favor was I worked extremely hard. So even though I didn't know anything about programming or about form, and I bench pressed like 3 times a week till failure, if you work hard, just that raw input of work, you'll get results anyways, especially in the early days when you're in your bronze phase, when you're a noob. All right, let's go. So I can go here, and if you really want to progress this, what I could do is, I'm not gonna go very heavy here because I don't need it, but I could go goblet. So I'm here, control, 1, 2, 3. And this actually kind of helps you stabilize a little bit, balance-wise, but it does mean you have to lift more weight. So it's a trade-off. Nice and control, guys. If you can, keep those the bottom foot. Try not to push off, try not to toe off. Make that top leg do more of the work. Oh, geez. Okay, last 2. Come on. Let's go, guys. Oh, Jesus. Whew. Should be feeling the front of the wheels. Them quads. I don't know if you guys heard, but quads are the new abs. So, gotta have big quads for Hoochie Daddy season. The 5-inch inseams are in. Okay, other side. Nice and controlled. Trying to keep that knee stable, pushing forward. It's natural to have imbalances. So if one leg or one arm feels weaker if you're doing any of this stuff, always start with your weaker side first. So I kind of broke my own rule here. Should have started on this left side. And the reason I think you should do that is let's say this left leg's only capable of doing 8, but the right can do 12. If I do 8 on the left and then 12 on the right, I can then always go back to the left and do another 4 or 5 and balance it out. But if I do my right first and then my left after, it's gonna be harder because I'll need to rest more on that left side before I can do that little cluster set. Oh, okay. That's step ups. So that's 2 of them done. So next, what we're gonna do, this may seem rude because it is, but we're gonna do a single dumbbell deadlift. So we're practicing, if you remember, in video 1, we talked about the idea of a hip hinge movement. And as a pop quiz, that's when I'm not bending through my back, I'm not bending through my knees, but it's all my hips working. So what I'm thinking about doing, my butt comes out to the wall behind me like there's a big rope pulling my butt back, my hips. My shins are still vertical, you notice they're nice and straight. Big stretch in my hamstrings. And then I'm just gonna drive my hips through like I'm making sweet, sweet love to this dumbbell. So I'm here, dumbbell, I'm holding it like this here, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna allow my hips to come back, 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 back. I can't really go anymore, my hamstrings won't let me, so I can bend my knees a little bit at the bottom, start there, drive my hips through. So I'm trying to get that full range of motion deadlift. So hips, 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 a little bit of knees, drive my hips through. Hips, hips, hips. Now, if you're in a gym and you have access to like a hamstring curl machine or a Smith machine or a barbell, even a kettlebell, that might feel more natural than holding one single dumbbell like this. But I wanted to make this program as accessible as possible to anyone. So even if you only have a cheap old set of dumbbells at home, or if you go to a gym like a Fit for Less or a Planet Fitness, you could still do this program with no restrictions, even going to like a $10 a month gym. So there really should be no excuse why someone couldn't do this. And the workout would take like 20 minutes or less. So a lot of my clients travel for work. A lot of them only have access to hotel gyms. You can do this anywhere with a set of dumbbells, and most gyms have this. That's why I'm using this piece of equipment that usually I would swap for something else. So we're gonna go up in weight. So we're gonna go, let's go 60. Go in there. And remember, I said this in the first video, day one, but if you're feeling a ton of lower back, just try and flex this a little bit more. Think about taking a big belly breath in, and then expand, push out, almost like if someone said they're gonna punch me in the stomach, or if I had a belt here and I'm trying to push out against it and really compress it. That's what you wanna think about doing here. So I'm here, push my hips back, come down to meet the weight, lats are engaged a little bit, big breath, big brace. Very nice. So, a lot of you will be pretty strong in this movement. Now, it's a movement I encourage you to take your time in building up in weight. I would argue that this is one of the most technical movements you can do in the gym, because you're thinking about getting your lats engaged, you're thinking about bracing your core, you're thinking about bending from your hips. It's a lot of things to think about at once. So even though you could load this pretty heavily right away, I don't necessarily believe that means you should. When you're doing this, if we're thinking about a pie chart and a percentage of how much you feel it, the hamstrings back here should be at least like 50% or more of the movement you're feeling. If you're not feeling your hamstrings doing most of the work and your glutes, don't add more weight. Get that muscle-mind connection into the hamstrings and glutes first, then load more weight. Now I have great muscle-mind connection in my hamstrings, so I'm gonna go heavier. And you could also use 2 dumbbells instead of 1 if you don't have that heavy of dumbbells. So if I'm gonna stick with if I were to honor my philosophy of reps in reserve here and going for like 0 to 3 in reserve, 80 pounds is not gonna be enough. So I'll need 2 dumbbells, or I'll have to go like 7 seconds on the way down each rep or something crazy. So for today I'll use this. Future ones I'll probably use dumbbells, like 2 dumbbells. So we're here. Don't pick up the weight if it's way in front of you. A good rule of thumb, the weight's here, I'm gonna stand over the weight. My ankle bones, right here, are gonna basically cut the weight in half. And then I'm not gonna bend my knees down to pick up the weight. I'm not gonna round my back to pick up the weight. I'm gonna push my ass back until I can grab the weight. So I'm here, everything's in place. From this angle, so you can see another way. Here. Seven. 12. Again, reps in reserve. Still had some reps in reserve there, so not where I'd usually want to be, but for the first week, it does the job. Okay, last but not least, we're gonna do a head-supported dumbbell bent over row. So what I'm gonna need to do, so you guys can see this correctly, is I'm gonna move this bench around. Good. Okay. This camera angle. You're out of commission. Seriously? Cut a hole in my shorts. Okay. So, we'll start with a nice moderate weight. First warm-up set. Honestly, at this point, I'm pretty warm, but that's okay. So, what we're gonna do, bent over row. Same thing as before. I'm gonna think about pushing my hips back to get myself to a place where I can rest my head on the top of the bench here, like this. Now my mic gets in the way, so I'm gonna kind of just purposely go there. And then I'm gonna flex my abs. I'm doing a bent over row from this position. So I'm here. A little bit of a brace. Nice. This one you'll feel a lot of your low back working, a lot of that mid back. And again, remember, if I squeeze, if I death grip these weights, any kind of pulling movement, if I'm pulling weight towards my body, if I death grip it, my forearms, my biceps, they do a lot of the work. If I can relax them, I said it in day one of week one, that if I pretend I'm holding an egg, and I'm just loosely grabbing the weight, but I'm really pulling from that elbow and squeezing in the lat and kind of pulling my elbows together, then I can really engage all that musculature on my back. So we're gonna go up. 2 more sets here. That was our warm-up set. And then we're done week 1, guys. Okay, we did 35 the first set. I got 50s here. All right, let's hit it. So we're here. Friendly reminder, brace through here. Holy smokes. Have a drink of water. I'm fatiguing out, but it's the last one here. So, I hope this is your third workout of the week here. Again, because it's day 3. You should notice the trend by now. 2 upper body exercises, 2 lower body exercises. This is bronze. There's at least 4 more phases planned, so it's probably gonna take there'll probably be at least 6 months of free programming coming for you guys if things go as planned. These videos are gonna change a lot as we go. We're making this up as we go. So yeah, appreciate the patience on that. Also, yeah, I know it's not pretty, but it's this is effective, and there'll be a lot of people online that will offer to sell you a program for the menial price of $199 or whatever they're gonna charge you. You can't do that. There's a lot of great programs, but if you don't like exercising and you just want like the minimum effective dose, something like this will do the job. You don't need the fancy shit, I promise you. All the extra accessory stuff, the icing on the cake, if you will, is good to be added once you're in the routine of training and living this lifestyle. Okay, last one to freedom, guys. All right, so we're gonna grab that. Nice hinge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, my grip's failing. That's hot. Oh. the left hand. Okay, that's the end of day 3. Thank you very much for tuning in. Give yourself a little pat on the back. You showed up, you did the thing. You probably didn't want to do it. Maybe you did want to do it, but you did it. So we'll see you next week, week 2, and have a good one.